What's up guys, Marten here. So we're having another waterfall event today. Most cryptos are down more than 12%. Basically the last bottom we had last week did not hold, and that was not surprising, but we did get a little tempt to the upside on Sunday. But that totally failed earlier today, and now almost all big cryptos has set new yearly lows. So in this video we'll cover Bitcoin, Ethereum, Stellar, and finally Monero. So let's dive right into it here. Here we do have all altcoins from the very beginning. So at the moment we are at 78 billion. So let's look at 78 and compare that to go back here in the fall of last year. Because some solid support, that would be around 75 million. So we could expect another move to the downside here for an additional 3 billion in market cap. And here is the yearly chart going back 1 year, and here we can see that we have now taken out this low we had in September, 79.5, and now here below that. So a new low, so that should be negative for the near term. Let's look at Bitcoin daily short, and we are having another waterfall event. Bitcoin's down 12%. So here's the daily candlestick, very negative, and we can compare this to the one we had last week. Looks pretty similar so far. And yesterday we did get a little move to the upside here. We got a green day, went up to around 5,700, but that was very weak. We ended the week or the day here weak, and we lost it here earlier today. And today we have touched 5013 and even lower. And 5013, that is the beginning of some support levels we had back in 2017. So we're gonna have a look at that right now on the weekly chart. So here's the weekly, and if you go back here in August of 2017, we do see this candlestick here, and the very high of this candlestick is 5013. So that is where we do have support beginning, and this week here closed at 4624. So that's another number to look at. And also that's interesting because that number corresponds with, if we take a descending trend line here from low to low, and then we stretch this to current month here, November, we might hit this level, which is basically around 4,600. So these are the numbers I'm looking at here. And finally, I want to show you the 200-day EMA here, which we can do on Bitstamp. That is the red line here. So the 200 weekly EMA is right now at around 4,200. So that is solid support down in this area, basically in this area back here in August of last year. So let's look at Ethereum now. Daily short, and it's down 13% today, very negative. And also here we got a little attempt to the upside, went up to 180 and then fell back and lost it. So if you wanted to short this, when we got below 170, you can see this supporting trend line. When it broke here, that would be a good time to short the market. And today we set a new yearly low for Ethereum at 149. And let's look at a weekly chart. Here's the weekly. And the next low here, that could be 135. We talked about this before, and that is a low from this week back here in July of 2017. But I also did the same thing here with the descending trend line from low to low and going all the way here to November. So if that were to happen, I'm not saying it's going to, but that would be a major drop here down to around 87, which would also be the lower Bollinger Band here, as you can say or see here. The lowest weekly RSI ever here for Ethereum on Kraken. It's right now at 31 on the weekly. So it does look pretty bleak here overall, but things could change very quickly in the crypto world. We've experienced that before, and we should take 1 week at a time here. And at the very end of this video, I'll give you some hope here for the future. So let's look at Stellar here, daily short, and Stellar did bounce nicely here yesterday, actually a couple of days before that as well. So it did go up here to the area of 25 cents where we had resistance, but totally lost it today. So very negative candlestick forming. We got this waterfall, we're down 10%, but that's actually better than Bitcoin at the moment, so a little bit interesting. Same story for Ripple. We're not going to look at Ripple today, but it's also performing better than Bitcoin. So let's look at a weekly short for Stellar, and it's likely here that we will get a continuation here of this M formation. The beginning of the M here, and then going down, up again, and now down again. So we could head down here to 20 cent area or 19 cent area, where we do have this moving average down here. So these are numbers I'm looking at for Stellar. Now finally Monero. This is the weekly chart, and what happened earlier today was that Monero did make a new low here for the year. So the old one at 76 did not hold, and at the moment we're trading at 75. So here was the low, and we now set a new low here. So that's clearly a negative here for the time being. And I mentioned I want to give you some hope here at the very end of the video. And I wanted to do that by showing you Bitcoin here. If we go back in time, do you remember 2013? Well, maybe not. I entered Bitcoin in 2015, so I was not aware of Bitcoin, but we can learn from these shorts here. And what happened back in 2013 was that Bitcoin had a very nice move to the upside. And this month it went all the way up to 1163. But then we had a very negative move to the downside here. You see all this movement, all this downside here looking very negative. And we did go down all the way to 152. And that is quite some drop here from the very high. And that is actually a retracement of 87% from the high. And how long did this take? All this negative move, it took 14 months. So what I wanted to show you here is a comparison to 2018, where we are right now. So let's look at 2018 monthly chart, and on this is Bitstamp, and here we did go up to almost 20,000, 19,666. And if we look at the daily low here, in this I used 49.35. We've gone even lower today, but that is a retracement of 75%. So if we were to go down to the 200 weekly EMA, that would be down to 4,200 as we looked at earlier. And if that were to happen, that would be a retracement of 78.6%. And how long has this taken so far? Well, this is the whole year of 2018. So far this has taken 11 months. So this is what I want to show you. We do have a similar retracement, and what you usually say here is that market usually does not repeat itself, but it rhymes. So we do have similarities from the past. So hopefully I've given you some hope here that we might be close to support and the low here for Bitcoin. So there are some interesting similarities, and that's all I have for today. But make sure to head over to our homepage, and there are some interesting articles here regarding Bitcoin. And 2019 might be the year of institutional investors to come in here. So some good news here at the very end. So that's it. Goodbye.